Eternal peace and love, welcome to Satsang. You are that from where the senses shows you the world. You are that from where you are able to understand, grasp the world. For that, you have not to do anything. You are it. You are it now. The so-called hypnotism, which creates a confusion, has to disappear if the question is there. So to realize who you really are, which is already realized. Very strange sentence. Will give an end to misery, to illusions. It's called peace. And what takes birth and what knows death are the senses and the brain. Not who you are. So don't use your thinking power to realize yourself. Otherwise you will have a limited understanding, since this so-called mind is a product of who you are, a product which is starting and which will end. The same with the result of that. So, if one doesn't think, what happens? Of course, when the mind thinks again, when thoughts again appear, one is obliged to see. If not, it is the subject of a journey, of a search. It's obliged to see that thoughts, experiences from the senses also and the feelings are just coming and going, so they are not real by nature. So when they appear, when you have not thought for a moment, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you lost yourself. It's just, it shows you that the manifestation of your own is unstoppable, but it's a manifestation. It is called a dream, which starts and which ends, with all what is included in. Et voilà. If you want to add or subtract something, please do. Maybe it's not clear, so please ask. Of course, those words which are told like don't think or keep quiet, if you use your mind, it is a state. It is it can be an accomplishment of someone. So it means don't use your mind. Don't think that the tool who comes from you can help you. What helps is just to keep quiet from where the tool arises. An instant is enough. Probably it has to be repeated because one is too used to confuse himself with the outside. But that also will go. Yes?
What you explain this now and what you explained last week implies for me a kind of a shift.
Mm-hmm.
For a lifetime I was used to see from the person, from the mind, and now it's
from yourself.
Yes. And that so it's not new what I heard here, but maybe your radical and energetic way to present it awoke in me something last time, which establishes me more now in the self. So there is not this.
Okay. May I correct one word? It's not establishing. You were never really there. So there is no way. You are always yourself. So the shift, I accept. It can be expressed as a shift. Sure. In fact, it was part of the illusion, isn't it? Because you are always yourself. Very good.
But to understand that, really, to be that, it takes still some time.
To live it.
To live it. Because in daily life...
But daily life the daily life belongs to what? The daily life belongs to what?
To the dream.
You cannot live yourself in daily life. Daily life belongs to objects. Don't confuse. Don't try to bring who you are in a kind of ways or attitudes that this body-mind will have. It will never have. It is perfect as it is. The confusion is not perfect. So you have not to be established. What I can see or you express is the force of habits makes you believe still, you see, I'm here and there, it should not be so. But that, you have to use now your wisdom. You have to say, it's part of the illusion to think anything has to be different. You see, as a person, you will be identified, otherwise, how you will function in this world. Nobody told to a person to all the qualities of the self. He has to gain all the qualities of the self. How come? It's impossible. That person which appeared, you see, it's the body-mind, creates all this. This is the mirage, this is the dream. Who you are includes that, but it is the source of all that. So the shift is, you are the source of all. Don't try anything. And when you feel away, that feeling is part of the dream. Don't give value to that. Don't mention it. You see, when you had the fire of freedom, and for you, you gave full value to that desire more than anything else in your life. Once it's fulfilled, you know the value of it. You are in love with that in a natural way. It's a way to say, you see. So, let life appear. You cannot stop it as long as this body-mind is alive. But naturally, also, you love to have moments of keeping quiet.
Again, do you have more? I didn't get the word.
Moments.
Moments,
Nothing happened then, you see. You know the nature of things. And it is not that it will be less identified or not. Body reacts to circumstances, the mind may also. So don't expect changes there. No changes has to be expected. But good to come, to anyway hear it again and again, to love the subject, to have this passion. It's very natural. Some examples, I don't know them in the West. In India, they are called kind of abdud. Did you hear about the abdud? They are called abdud because they look like absorbed in themselves. You see, even their body, their senses, their mind. It's possible that it happens to someone, but you have not to be like that necessarily. It is a state of mind and body according to the past. It became like this. You see, because you see, we have to remove all our archetypes in oneself, which presents Abdut or saints or this and that. And we have always images of divinity, of absorption in something else, and so on. All that has to go. Otherwise, you will never be up to there. Or if you are there, then what? You may not know it, but if you know it, then you get proud. So, there is no special way to be. The special way to be is according to the path of this appearance.
Like with Radha, often she just completely...
Which one?
Radha.
Radama?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she committed suicide.
The opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you told me she is the one who has such deep love. You never met somebody who has such a love.
Yeah. Freedom is something else. But the pity is that she didn't meet the master. Otherwise she would have been all right. Next. Yeah.
This morning I woke up about 4 o'clock. I woke up very fresh this morning, and I woke up with the idea in my mind just stop fighting. Mm-hmm. Just to stop. Mm-hmm. And I was feeling really at peace. Mm-hmm. A very pleasant day today. Just more at peace and quiet, mm-hmm. and just catching the nonsense. Yeah. Catching it. And there's less of it.
Yeah.
Less of it. It's okay. And during the day, I was just looking at things, looking at the buildings and trees, and everything's just more subtle.
More
subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that from, or what's happening with that? Because that's, I'm obviously observing.
Yeah, you have different experiences because you are somehow less grasping.
Be less grasping, it is, yeah.
So it gives you another approach to the life. Less grasping means you have a certain distance. You may see sometimes, oh, it's not as real as I think, or it's more subtle. There are experiences which is due to this investigation. So continue your investigation.
But that's going to change as well.
Yeah, sure. It can, yeah.
And is that because when I experience more subtle inside, I see more subtle outside?
Yeah, you can explain that, whatever you see.
Okay.
But it's because with even investigation, I is less gross.
I is less gross.
Yeah,
or
it is
mind
still
less
I.
gross.
Still I. Still I, still someone, still a seeker.
Yeah.
But it's less gross, so everything will have that color. But it can still come and go, as everything comes and goes in experiences.
Yeah.
So who are you?
Sorry?
Who are you?
Yeah.
You're not what comes and goes.
Still working on this, you know. Still, it's just different experiences. I don't have an answer.
To be yourself?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to who I am. I don't know.
Yeah, but one day you may stop to take yourself for something, and that is the answer. You will not have an answer mentally. You can have many kinds of understandings, but they are just aspects. You have the answer you search is a realization. It is not understanding.
Yeah.
Understanding comes from here.
Yeah.
You are already yourself. If you don't think, if you don't go into thinking just now, what happens? What can you say?
When I don't go into thinking, I experience more subtleties through my senses. I just experience more subtleties.
No.
Well,
This is already a step too much. Not thinking means you don't grasp anything which moves or appears. Let it be senses also.
Okay.
That direction. Here you are always. And don't try to figure it out.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah,
or if you can, it is again fake, it is again an aspect.
All I know is that I can't figure it out. I know that for sure.
No, but you can experience also, you cannot figure it out. Because if you figure it out, you are already a step too much.
Okay.
Caught in the mind. So it doesn't matter if you know it.
So just keep watching. I just keep watching.
Watching if you need, otherwise don't watch, don't do anything. That second is difficult to give to yourself. Just a moment of absolutely no grasping. Why don't you give? You could. There it is.
Ganga?
Yeah.
So would you be going? Because when you talk, when a person talks, then you're in your thoughts, right? You're in the mind. You have to be in the mind, right?
Okay. I use my mind, but my words don't come from the mind.
Yeah.
I have no time to think it.
Yeah, they're just coming from.
Of course, I use my mind.
But so.
I react.
Yeah. And then would you be going from that place to the mind, back to the... Is that how it works, kind of? Because when you say, don't think, be in that little moment...
To realize yourself. After that, I will never say such a thing. Once you are yourself without a doubt, without confusion, why should I speak like this? It's too... Because you see, you are a step too much away from your own self. So just to make you wake up, I have to tell you things. It's a way to teach.
Yeah.
It has contradictions, it has paradoxes, it has anything. The important is to wake up. So, whatever will work, take it.
Yeah, say more. It helps, but I still...
And sometimes understanding, clarity of mind helps for a while, because then many concepts drop. Because you see, we carry a lot of concepts. And that will surely not help. It's veil after veil then. So it's very important to understand, listen, the first concept, I am someone, that sense of I is already a step too much away from yourself. That's how you feel to search for yourself, or you feel unsatisfied, uncontented, whatever you do. There is a kind of separation, feeling of separation due to this. So this negative way, it's not this, it's not that. In the end, you see, you will grasp less and less. Because if it is not real, why to dig there, why to fix that? Or you just remind yourself again and again, I'm that, what I'm doing to here and there, why? I'm always that, and I cannot figure it out. But that's the surrender of the mind. You can give instance to yourself, one instant, here and there, when you are fiery. It's to wake up. It's not to become a good student who will understand the best. You have to wake up. If you think that you are dreaming or not all right.
Yeah, it's just, you never know if what you feel is just a state of mind or whatever, wherever you are, if it's just the mind.
Yes, it is states of mind.
Yeah.
There is no feeling from the self. Everything is self. There is no feeling which is a self. Everything has the nature of the Buddha. Oh, so that bird which passes is Buddha. No. Everything is your own self, but if you point out to something, it's part of the mirage. Don't confuse yourself.
It's confusing. You know, it's just like it's.
Who is confused? You will go out of it now. Who is confused?
I just don't. I don't know who's confused. It's just that I.
How do you know? No, everybody knows.
What? Who's confused?
Yes.
I don't.
I don't.
Even I don't know who's I.
Yeah, but that is true.
Yeah.
Except when you start to speak of feeling, then it means you think you are the body and mind, and whatever is in this complexity. This is an explanation which can help for investigation. That explains, you see, okay, I don't know who I am. And yet, it's true, I speak of understandings of feelings and this and that, and I don't know if it is real or not. All that is because you base yourself on the body-mind. So that has to be clear. Once you know that, you can hear. This is the first concept which has been swallowed. Is the root cause of all other concepts. Is the root cause of being a seeker and believing I'm a seeker. And I want this and that, and in the end it can be reduced to I want to be freed, I want liberation, I want to realize myself. Mm-hmm. So if you want to realize yourself, you have to hear at some point. But who else are you?
Here at some point?
You have to hear.
Here.
To hear,
yeah.
At some point, yeah. Here and now.
Yeah. I have to hear it at some point, yeah? Yeah.
It can be now, that point.
It would be great, yeah.
It can be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Now?
No.
Okay. So, who are you? Don't go in your mind, you don't know. In the mind, you will say, I don't know. Don't go in the mind. Don't go in the sensation of the body. Then what's left? That's who you are. And you are it always. Where do you go now? To the mind. To the mind.
Not even in the mind.
Where?
I don't know. It's it's just like.
Where do you go? Why? Why you go somewhere? Try to see that in fact you pass your life in going somewhere. Always. Always. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So what is the most important to hear in satsang? Let's see if you are a good student.
No, I don't.
But you present yourself as a good student. I believe you are a good student. But you have questions, isn't it? So you question things.
I do. I also, because it's so, like you're saying things and I get them and then I don't get them and then I just feel I want more, yeah? Because I want, I just want to, it's weird because I'm saying something and then already I don't even agree with it. It's the next, it's just all so, it's vague or it's
But in the mind it can be vague.
Yeah, but even when I go out of the mind, I'm not all the time in the mind. Even when I go out of the mind,
what's there?
Nothing.
But that is still mind, huh?
Yeah, so you see it's probably still, Simon, there's nothing with the mind.
Mm.
So I can't, that's the thing, I can't seem to go, I'm staying where you say to stay. I'm actually, like since we're here, there's a lot of just more peace of mind, I guess, which is good. It's nice to have some peace of mind. And more silence and more, even though I'm very busy, but then there's the next step, or whatever, maybe there's no next step because you say that, but it's still...
No, but good. Go back to peace of mind, and whenever you want, you will see that you see that you are in peace of mind.
Yeah.
In a peace of mind.
The peace of mind, yeah.
So you are that which sees it.
Yeah, that's how it sees it now.
Yes, please.
If everything is at the should place and as it should be, there is no question to be raised.
Yeah.
If I ask you a question, your answer, I have to feel it.
Feel
it. There is kind of two different stages.
Mm-hmm.
If I think with my mind, you give me an answer, and I try to analyze it. But if I go beyond, you give me an answer, and it says something to me at a different place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I was asking. Is there any question that I should ask?
But this is quite good question. So what is the question, in fact?
The question
to know
is that there is no question, because what you don't say with your with words, I feel it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So
than feelings or understandings.
Not feelings.
Yeah, that's what I say. You feel it in a different way than feelings or understandings.
Exactly.
Then keep quiet there.
Before I came, I just came here by some chances. Afghan invited me, and I just take the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I went to see you. I didn't know you at all.
Yeah.
And so I just checked something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there was nothing that surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I go immediately to reserve my flight.
Yeah, just maybe to hear that, keep quiet then. If you have no interesting question because you already know it will place you somewhere, and who you really are cannot be placed, you keep quiet where you already are.
And then, after making
But
I booked my flight and everything, but then I had some resistance. So I was completely sick, I mean physically sick.
Yes.
And
you have a good intuition.
so suddenly something emerged from me and said, that's your mental, that's your mind. Mm-hmm. And when I realized that, I said, yes, I'm resisting because I'm just going, something is emerging.
Yeah, sure.
And I was feeling better. I mean, something suddenly,
you just demystify, it's my mind, it's not who I am in fact.
Yeah, I was surprised because it couldn't be so easy. And
stay in the surprise, it's really great. Keep quiet there, keep quiet. You came to hear that?
And what is the irresistible pull?
The irresistible
Pull.
Pull? What is it? Your own self wants to breathe. So just stay from where this irresistible pull brings you, or from where it came. It's the same. It's your own self. Finally, is not veiled by any illusion. The ripeness of the seeker, you see. He knows enough, yet something is missing, and that thirst, that irresistible jerk of the self will shake him up, will waking him up. How is Elka?
Always in paradise.
In Vedas?
In paradise.
Ah, in paradise.
What do you understand?
I don't know. And that's it, paradise.
And you tell me you have to be careful about the apple.
I would have said the snake today, but that is an apple and there is a snake in paradise.
The apple is the mind.
Yes, my dear. And paradise is where?
No.
Huh?
It's a word. Only a word.
The mind is a bird.
Hmm?
The mind is a bird. And what if you remove the word paradise? What happens to you?
Freedom. 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 It's a word too, but
the only thing paradise has a few images. Freedom doesn't bring you much. Yes. What is not in the mind when it is expressed?
and what do you mean by snake? Snake, le serpent, snake?
Oh, it was just to trouble you a little bit.
Vous jouez avec nos pauvres petits mâles, là.
Je suis dévoilée. But it's true, when you are less and less entertaining your mind, you may feel that life is quite heavenly, paradisiac. Of course, knowing that the mind can at any time present something, so there may be some break from the paradise, but all that is anyway an appearance, a living. I must say, when I was young with my master, I was totally in paradise. It was golden days. And, because being in his presence, probably, the mind was surely not allowed to work that much. So it was quiet. There was big beach of no mind. And yet one has to understand with maturity what all that means. Not to fall into the experience, oh, I lost my paradise. It can happen. We cannot rely on the permanency of appearances or experiences. That's why it's most precious to be free, to be what we always are.
But how can you lose paradise? Or what you want? Paradise is the self. And we are the
I
self.
will not call. Unless, what do you mean by paradise? Because I don't want to trouble the words, but
Bliss.
That's what I say. This is paradise. Yeah. Who feels bliss? It's a very, let's say, spontaneous expression of your own self. Yet it's a wave. You see, it lasts the time it lasts, but you cannot rely on the belief it will always be there. It may reappear when it goes, but still. So it's very important to not to confuse an expression. Let it be bliss for yourself. That's what I say. I was in bliss with my master. Still, I was confusing. An experience for what it is. I was confusing. If paradise is presented to you, live it. But don't run after it if it fades away for some reason. That's what I say. Huh? Okay.
When you say you lived, when you were living with your master, there were a lot of time where there was no mind, and still you were confusing. You mean you were confusing when the mind appears again?
No, when he was there, the mind didn't appear. He was so genuine that it was not leaving any trace. But I was not always with him after a few years, and suddenly, not immediately, because paradise has a good print. At some point it faded away.
Yes,
So the teaching started. But I mean, I don't reject the paradise. Just one has to know what it is. You see, it's not a question of... One has to mature in that way. One has to know what's there, what's going on. Otherwise, you see, those who have glimpses, what happens? Their mind doesn't function, they have a glimpse of themselves and they describe it in such an undescribable way, beautifully. We have many témoignages, many, they are beautiful. A few years after what happens, generally they still search or they are miserable or whatever. Why? Because they have not really understood what happened to their mind when it reappeared. What is mind? The mind has to be demystified. All what it presents has to be demystified. Otherwise, you will grasp it. You see? As you grasp the description of yourself. That was not touched. You see? That's why it happened. But at some point one learns his lesson. Yes.
Does this mean? Does this mean what you just said? That there comes a time when it's good to take some distance from the master because the mind.
The master will tell you. It's much better. One would be too happy to escape quickly.
But it could be a bit of an addiction, no?
Don't worry, the master is not there to bind you. Yes, never. Otherwise he's not. Then what? To be addicted in satsang is the best addiction. I still believe. Nothing wrong there.
Yes.
There is a new wave telling the contrary. I am not going into that. Who cares? I will have satsang all my life.
I will have satsang all my life.
You have or will go forward?
I make satsang. I want satsang all my life.
For yourself?
Of course.
Yeah.
For whatever. What does it mean, a life without satsang? What is satsang? It can be, of course, a kind of lessons, a course, for understanding, for giving up and all that. But real satsang is just the company of your own self in a keeping quiet state. Life doesn't give it so much. We are always busy. Here and there, of course, but at least 1 hour when one could just keep quiet.
I realize that I don't like it. I mean, I like the movement, and I enjoy.
Yeah.
So to be quite like that, it's a bit difficult.
Yes.
And
Yeah, but you are 24 hours, well, less because you sleep. But if you count your dreams and all of 20 hours, you are always busy. You can't give 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
That's why
It's
I'm
the
here.
force of habits, you see.
Yes, yes.
Force of it's very strong.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But you know it.
Can you sit satsang with yourself, by yourself, or is it always with the master?
Oh, don't worry about me.
I'm worried about you, I'm worried about me. And this question is like, the satsang, is it always...
No. Satsang means to give an instant quiet with yourself, because why should you always dream, you see? Why? Okay. Now, it helps a lot to have satsang this way. You dedicate a moment not to do anything, or to clear up things, that's also different. But otherwise, you see, why not? Why not? Because don't forget, it's a very ununderstandable attraction, this self. One is attracted. One develops a passion also about this uncatchable subject. We have enough other interest. Let this also be present in our life.
But it's, I'm asking because it's just curiosity, yeah, it's not but it's, satsang would be different than meditation, yeah? It's different.
It's different.
How would you explain the difference? What's
very simple. In meditation, there is a meditator trying to achieve something. You must know, Vipassana meditation means you are in kind of no mind, or you are the observer, the witness. So, in satsang, it is to undress yourself of this label to be somebody. And you are already yourself. You have not to attain it. You have not to practice anything. It's because you practice that you reinforce the identity you think you are. And of course, it gets transformed in more subtle identities, but it will always remain an identity. So it's very different.
And if you're not doing vipassana or anything, but you're just sitting with yourself, you're just
that's enough.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very different. You just don't do anything.
No.
That can happen at any time, wherever you are.